Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. We are presenters from Group 5 and our topic is homeschooling. First of all, I will intro our team members. First, Nur Fatihah binti Muassi. Second, Nur Nadira binti Hamzah. Third is Nur Liana Hamzah binti Muhammad. And the last is Nur Fatin binti Abdul Aziz. So, let's move to the first presenter. Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Nur Fatihah binti Muassi. I come from ED 242 AB. As we said just now, our group topic is about homeschooling. What is homeschooling? Homeschooling is a progressive movement around the country and the world in which parents educate their children at home instead of sending them to a traditional public or private school. How does homeschooling work? The first is traditional program. Second is online homeschool program. Third, blended learning program. And the last is unschooling. Traditional programs. In a traditional program, families normally keep a structure mirrored in a school setting, meaning that they buy curriculum, textbooks, tests, teacher guide, and schedules. Second is online homeschool programs. Many online homeschool programs have pre-recorded videos that students can watch and rewatch until they learn the content. Other than that, the tests and quizzes are graded immediately, giving you the ability to know exactly how student is progressing at any given time. The third is blended learning program. In essence, blended learning is a term used to describe combination of online and traditional curriculum. This option lends even more customization to students because it offers more varieties in classes to best meet their learning style and abilities. The last is unschooling. Unschooling is a method where families allow their children to learn through their personal interests and build life experience around those interests. Let's move forward. Why do people homeschool? First of all, make a change from a negative school environment. Most often, parents are concerned about bullying. Homeschool becomes a solution for many of these kids and their families because it removes the psychological and physical trauma that happen with bullying. Get a higher quality education. Homeschooling gives parents more control over what their kids are learning. For many homeschooling parents, this is a strong belief that public school curriculum is not providing the right knowledge and skill for children. Last but not least, improve children's social interaction. The impact of homeschooling in this manner homework often improves emotional and psychological development in children. It also strengthens family connections when students homeschool with their siblings. Is homeschooling a good idea? There is a really concrete answer to that question because it all depends on a few factors. Homeschooling may be a great option for one family, but not the right fit for another. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. So, thank you.
Dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before I continue my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Nadira binti Hamzah.
Which countries is allow homeschooling?
Homeschooling is legal in many countries such as Australia, Canada, UK, and US. In other countries, while not restricted by law, homeschooling is not socially acceptable or considered undesirable and is virtually non-existent. Status for homeschool in United States is legal. In the Condition of Education 2009, the National Center for Education Statistics of U.S. Department of Education reported in 2007 the number of homeschool students was about 1.5 million. Currently, many also participate in homeschool cooperative as well as utilize the resource of private tutors and community college-based programs which allow students to earn college credits before attending college. Homeschool families used to help them to teach difficult subjects such as foreign language and science. In addition, many families do partnerships to help their children compete in academics and athletics with non-homeschool children. Did you know that in the United States, the Supreme Court has ruled that parents have a fundamental right to direct the education of their children? Before that, what you need to know before homeschooling your kids in Malaysia. There are three types of homeschooling settings. First, parents are the teachers. Second, families come together to teach each other. 3. There are learning centers too. Next, is homeschool legal in Malaysia? Homeschooling is legal in Malaysia, although the Education Act of 1996 made primary education is compulsory. Several homeschool parents met with the Minister of Education to clarify the effect on homeschooler. Next, why do parents decide to homeschool? First, make a change from a negative school environment. Second, improve children's social interactions. Third, get a higher quality education. First, homeschool becomes a solution for many of these kids and their families because it removes the psychological and physical tournament that happens with bullying. The other benefits to homeschool is that it is to eliminate the fear that comes from being bullied. Second, homeschooling gives parents more control over what their kids are learning. For many homeschooling parents, there is a strong belief that public school curriculum is not providing the right knowledge and skills for their children. Another important reason why parents decide to homeschool their children is that they want less exposure to bullying and peer pressure in the public school system and more tailored social interactions that support their values. Okay, next I will go through to the disadvantage of homeschooling. Number 1 is time. Second, cost. Third, socialization. 4, practice and motivation. When parents take the responsibility to educate their children at home, they may need to set aside time to make it work. The task of homeschooling a child is certainly not easy, especially for working parents, single parents, or stay-at-home parents. They also have to take time to organize and prepare lessons, teach, give tests, and plan field trips. Homeschooling is a full-time commitment, and to make sure that the child receives a quality education, parents need to invest time and effort in it. In comparison to public schools, where education is free, homeschooling can be costly. Purchasing the newest curriculum and teaching tools can be very expensive. Parents may choose to use a paid homeschooling program. Such a program may have added benefits but may increase the cost of the child education. Homeschooled children may not have as many opportunities to interact with other children in comparison to children who attend regular schools. Forming bonds and socializing with children their own age is important for the child's development, health, and development of social skills. If homeschooled, they may be deprived of the chance to form friendships and may suffer socially. Of course, they can make friends with other homeschooled children, but it is quite different when special effort has to be made to arrange meetings. The lack of socialization may affect them in later stage of. One of the reasons why homeschooling is bad is the fact that parents may lose patience when they are trying to educate their children. Some parents may avoid bearing or impatient, which may cause the children to react in a negative manner. It may be hard for parents to draw the line between education. Lastly, the most glaring negative effects of homeschooling is the matter of motivation. Some children need to be challenged to excel in their studies. In this sense, they thrive when they are involved in some competition. Children who are homeschooled will not have the motivation because most of them are educated.
That's all from me. Thank you for watching this video. Let's get to the next presenter.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good evening to everyone. My name is Nur Hamizah Lena binti Muhammad and I am from ED 2428A and I am the third presenter of this group. So today, in my first slide, I would like to share and give you explanation about the advantages of homeschooling. Let's get started. In these advantages, I have list the 3 parts of social, educational, and lifestyle benefits. In the social aspect, there are 4 kinds of it. First, socialization. Second, more involved in the community. 3, freedom from peer pressure. And the last one is able to instill family values. In socialization, we can see homeschooling gives children the freedom to choose friends that really suit with them. Children are able to relax and be themselves with friends they like. In freedom from peer pressure, school is all about fitting in and not being different from anyone else. A lot of this is eliminated when you start homeschooling at home. In more involved in the community, it can help homeschoolers tend to be out and about in the community a lot of the time. It teaches children to interact with people of all age and background. Last, able to instill family values. Children can learn their morals and values from their parents. at home. In the educational aspect, there are 6 points of view. First, flexibility. Second, use appropriate learning style. Third, more individual attention. Fourth, ability to pursue enthusiasm. 5, no homework. And last one is more opportunity in formal. In flexibility, homeschoolers can take advantage of many different educational methods and mix and match to suit different subjects. The student can able to use the appropriate learning style to match the child. In the more individual attention, the largest homeschool families are still usually smaller than today's classroom size. In the ability to pursue enthusiasm, children can study what they are interested in, which makes learning more fun and effective. In homeschooling, there is no homework that given from the teachers or tutor from the children at home. In more opportunities for informal learning, provide a question, chat, being involved in day-to-day activities are marvelous learning situations. So now, we move to lifestyle aspect. There are 4 points of it. First, more relaxing. Second, more family time. Third, less sedentary. And the last one is ability to pursue enthusiasm. In more relaxing, no more school runs, no more searching for lost homework. Everything becomes more relaxed. Meal times included. In less sedentary, not tied a days all day. Homeschool children have more freedom to run and play. In this aspect, provide more family time. Spending time with family is one of the greatest advantages to homeschooling. Ability to pursue enthusiasm, not just an educational benefit. Homeschooling seems to give the whole family time and space to pursue things they love to do. Now, I want to ask you, have you ever thought to homeschool abroad? Actually, you can homeschool over there if you or your family members have to transfer in abroad, but for sure you have to find a good teacher and tutor who will teach you. You need to refer a legal sources about their background of education and appropriate curriculum related with your syllabus. And now, I would like to discuss about how to start homeschooling abroad. The first point is find and do some research on specific fields of knowledge do you would acquire. The second point is knowing about your skills and abilities would you to master. The third one is find a appropriate values and principle do you want adapt in your lesson. Now, I would like to share with you about tips of success when homeschooling abroad. First, find your tribe. Second, don't talk about it too much with your friends and family. Third one, find an online trip. And 4, go slow. So guys, I have explained about how to start the homeschooling in abroad and give you some tips of it. So now, is it homeschooling abroad is safer? How about you? Do you think it's safer for our education and our? In my opinion, homeschooling abroad is really safe if we follow the right rules and procedure, where teachers or tutors come to teach our children in our homes without leading our children going out. Some parents do prefer use another alternative medium to ensure their children getting the same education like other children out there.
Based on the question above, I do agree. Some of parents still homeschooling their children because of religious reasons. But why? Let's take a look why the parents decide to do that. Public education in the majority of countries does not include any religious education. While religious institutions often offer private schooling, it is not affordable for many families because the fees are quite expensive. And the sum of children confused by the information taught in public school systems. Parents who do not have the wealth to enroll their children in religious schools and decide to teach them at home. Based on the issue that we have been discussed just now, I would like to relate this article with our issue. Suhaimi Saad is the one of Malaysian artists who did not send his children to school. He only provided homeschooling education and became a full-time teacher to educate and give his children knowledge.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nur Fatimah Abdul Aziz and I will continue the slide, which is it cheaper to homeschool than to send a child to public or private school? Do some homeschoolers have to take standardized tests? Do homeschool students have to take the public exam, which is PT3 and SPM? And do you recommend homeschooling, or is homeschooling effective in Malaysia? Okay, let's move to the first slide. Let's talk about homeschool. More flexible and cheaper alternative to sending their children to conventional school. It is up to the parents what they want to teach their children. A clear distinction had to be made between what is called proper homeschooling, an option if they want to save money and give room for flexibility. Media report has also highlighted that the increased cost of school uniform and books gave parents room to be flexible and creative, and the chance to better hone their children's interests and talents. In this slide, we will talk about do homeschoolers have to take standardized tests? Okay, point number 1, depend on the test your student is taking. Depending on the state you live in, you may or may not have a choice. Useful for homeschool students, though it's not required in all states. In Malaysia, they do some exams to act as benchmark to understand student achievement, for example the UPSR and PT3. Now, let's talk about do homeschooler students have to take the public exam, which is PT3 or SPM. It is usually the pupil's own responsibility to find an exam center, register for the exam, find a qualified person to access the coursework and enter the examination. IGCSE Homeschool provide classes for students who are for the preparing IGCSE examination. This is provide platform that is very useful for the student engaged in active learning and rich curriculum that help them to learn more effectively. And the last point is the IGCSE examination are written twice in a year, in May and October. Okay, based on this slide, may I ask you a question? Do you know what is the meaning of IGCSE? In this slide, as for my opinion, With more and more parents want their children to receive education different from that being offered in the public school system, homeschooling is becoming more popular every day. Is homeschooling effective in Malaysia? A question often asked by parents who are curious about or interested in homeschooling. Is effective as the teacher and the material used for school at home can be good fit in household where the teacher is excited about teaching and has time to patiently prepare and teach lesson. The lesson must not occur as a treat chore that is only grudgingly complete, should also be well planned and organized with extended lesson and opportunity for socialization. Now, I have ended my presentation.